Using an action camera indoors is no longer the problem that it used to be, like say with GoPros where you got a lot of grain and everything. So we can use these indoors. So it's important to be able to use the microphone indoors as well without picking up too much of the room sound. So I'm in my front room at the moment, and if I just move the camera around a little bit just to give an idea of how this thing might sound in a normal room. I'm now in the center of the room virtually, and hopefully you can hear not too much of the acoustic of the room. They are omnidirectional microphones, so it doesn't really matter if you face them upwards, sideways or whatever. Sometimes I face microphones sideways so that you don't go into the top of the microphone, and you can sometimes avoid that by putting them sideways. But this is the sound of the microphone in a standard kind of front room. And now we'll try some slightly more difficult acoustics. Now, my kitchen has the potential to sound and look really disgustingly awful, so it's very echoey in here, and if you're picking up that echo, again, it's because it's an omnidirectional microphone, can't be helped. The only way to take that down is to get the microphone as close as you can to your mouth, and hopefully then it'll eliminate a lot of the reverberation that's going on. If I go into the nastiest corner of the room, which I know full well to be over here by my computer, I'm sitting here in the corner, and now smack in the corner, this is the worst place, because not only have we got the reflections of the room in general, but that wall, a hard floor and the ceiling all reflecting nicely. So that's the sound of the microphone in a very poor acoustic. If you really want to make life difficult for yourself, go to the bathroom and try that for acoustic. It's terrible. So in here, really boomy, really nasty. If this is picking up okay, I'd be surprised. But that gives you an idea of a disgusting acoustic. Most people would probably use this microphone this way, having it pinned to your jacket or whatever on your chest. But they can sound quite different when taken away or planted somewhere. So I'm going to take it off. Might get a little bit of crackling going on here. So I'll be as gentle as I can. Okay, the mic's now off. Now if I take the mic off and just hold it there instead of pin it to myself, hopefully you can hear a difference. It might be a little bit nicer sounding, you never know. It might be worse sounding, but I generally find that take a mic away from your body and it can often sound slightly different. If you don't like the sound of the Wireless 2 transmitter, the little capsule on the top there, you can always exchange it for a lavalier and just plug into the unit itself and use a lavalier. So at the moment I'm using this one, which is the DJI lavalier, which they sell as well for roughly about 30 something pounds. It seems to be very good. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't come with a fluffy to fit it, so if you take it out in the wind it's going to pick the wind up, so you'd need to buy something to put over the top of it to cover it up, but you can always use a lavalier if you want. To make this video I've been using the Action 4 all of the time, and I've been putting the audio track with the video on the camera. But the nice thing about this thing is you can also use it to record on. So this transmitter, it can actually record. It's got 8 gig on board and it records in 32-bit as well, so it's quite nice. You can switch the 32-bit on and off on your camera. But basically that means that if you overmodulate, or you think you've overmodulated, you can bring it back, and equally if the sound is a little bit low you can bring it up a little bit easier. Now to demonstrate that, I'm going to shout into the microphone and then I'm going to balance it in post. Well, hopefully I am anyway. So this time the audio is actually coming from the transmitter itself, from the microphone. So if I speak really, really quietly like this, it will bring the room noise up, I think. And it might be a little bit more hissy, but it's recoverable. And equally, if I speak at a normal volume, that's what it's going to sound like. Now, the other thing is if I get really close to it and I shout really loud, this is going to overmodulate probably on the camera. But if I get the file onto my computer and later pull it down and then put it on, it'll be absolutely fine, I hope. Anyway, the thing is, you can adjust the volumes later in post, and the other thing is you can set the camera so that every time you press record, the microphone starts recording as well, and then it stops. So when it comes to syncing it up, it's dead easy. Everything matches up nicely. Right, I'm off to buy some eggs. Thing is, here where I live, there are no shops, so when we want to buy things like eggs, we go to the local farmer. And he puts them out in the front and we pick them up. and it's cheaper than the shops. So I'm going up to the main road and I'm going to try the noise cancellation out when I've got cars going past. Although at the moment it doesn't look that busy up there. So here I am just by the road and I'm sitting at the bus stop. We've got a nice little seat here and a bus has just gone past, and hopefully you can hear all that rumbling and noise going on as it goes past. So this is what the thing sounds like when there's no noise cancellation on when you're sitting by a road at a bus stop. Quite convenient because the bus stop's actually outside the farmer's house, so I'm just sitting and having a rest. But the microphone, as you can hear, doesn't really take away the noise of the traffic. So now I've got to wait for a car. God, would you believe it? 1 minute 10 cars come along, the next minute there are none. Just like buses, here it is. Oh, I think there's one coming now. Here comes one. So this is with the noise cancellation off. Now I'm going to turn it on right now. And oh, it wasn't even a bus, it was just a motorbike, a little pop pop. Hang on, there's some more coming. I think there's some traffic lights down the road, so what's happening is they're stopping and starting, but I've got the noise cancellation on now, so hopefully it is actually taking the cars away from the microphone. Right, let's get the eggs. There we are. So you put your money in there and you take your eggs. And there you go, got me eggs. Thank you, Mr. Farmer. Now if you're into long distance, I'm going to try walking away, but you have to bear in mind that this is connected, I think, to the Action 4 via Bluetooth. So at the moment I'm a good sort of like, I don't know, 6 feet away, 10 feet, 8, 6, 10, 8, something like that. So an average sort of distance, but if I get any further away, does the Bluetooth stay connected? That's the thing, so we're going to try it. Now I'm getting very nervous at this because, as I say, once you get away from Bluetooth, you're probably going to reach the end of it at the end very quickly. Normally I think Bluetooth is about, what is it, 10 meters, 30 feet, something like that. So I'm now roughly about, I would say 20 feet. So we're getting on the limit. We're absolutely on the limit. So let's see if I get a bit further away. Now I would say I'm on the limit of what I think Bluetooth is, which is about 10 meters. Now at 10 meters, Bluetooth just about works with headphones. Whether it works with this, I don't know, but this is a long shot. And I'm now even going to go further, so I'm going to try it. Now no one in their right mind is going to want to start filming people probably this far away on an action cam with a wide angle lens, because I must be minute in the screen. So if you can hear me now, I'm quite a long way away. I don't know, I would say, well, let's measure it, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, roughly about 20 paces. So really we're talking 20 paces, 3 feet, about 60 feet. So if that's working at 60 feet, it's done very, very well, because apparently it's Bluetooth. We'll see. Once you've connected your microphone to your Action 4, you get a new menu in the settings. So if you go into the settings, press that one and then go down, you'll see a wireless mic in the menu. So if you click onto wireless mic, you get monitor volume, which is great. That's the monitor volume if you have a receiver. LED, I'm not quite sure what the LED is, whether it turns it off on there or on the camera. I'm not quite sure. I think it's on there to turn it off, but I like that. Vibration, so when you turn it on and off, or it records, it vibrates. Now this one is the interesting one. It's the audio to video sync, and what that does is every time you press record on the Action, the microphone goes off, so you don't miss anything. And it's very, very quick to react. I have tested it and it really is quick, so you don't miss anything once you've got that switched on, and then it records to that. It records to it. You've got a low cut, which I've turned off, and then you've got to turn 32-bit float recording on if you want 32-bit in here, otherwise it's 24-bit. And then you've also got auto power off, turn itself off, and then you can format any recordings. To format, you just push it and then confirm, and now that's wiping all the files off of my microphone. So it's a pretty nice menu system on the Action in order to control the Wireless 2. To be honest, I think if you have an Action 4 already, the Wireless 2 is a no-brainer. It's a really good package. It's a solid package, all in a nice little pouch. You can get the lavalier if you want to use the lavalier with it, but for the 80 odd pounds that microphone costs, it gives you great audio, no receiver needed, straight into camera, and you get fantastic audio. And if you ever want to use it with other cameras, all you've got to do is record it onto the transmitter itself, and then when you bring it home, you've got 32-bit recording. You just sync it up and off you go. So it's a fantastic package and well worth it. Hope to see you next time. Cheers for now.